Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan Chenoweth with Chenoweth Communications. Thank you for watching this presentation on informal communications. This presentation is the power of informal communications. Our agenda is as follows. We're going to talk about informal versus formal communication and the importance of the water cooler conversations, using the grapevine to your advantage. Formal communication is the process of exchanging information between two or more persons by following the prescribed or official rules, procedures, systems, formalities, and chain of command in the organizational structure. It can flow both vertically and horizontally. Formal communication is conducted through newsletters, manuals, emails, memos, staff meetings, conferences, and official notices. Informal communication involves unsanctionable informal communications between organizational members and can flow in any direction. Informal communication is conducted majority through the grapevine. Here you see an informal or a formal communications flow structure. You start with your upper management all the way down to the lowest worker. Communication flows in one direction, up and down. In an informal network, here we have our upper management and our lowest person. Here you see communication flows like a spider web in every direction. The grapevine is an informal communication network which ignores formal channels of communication and spreads rumors and gossips at all levels of the business organization. Although every business organization has its formal channels of communication, the informal channel of communication, called the grapevine, also operates within it. It can easily found that a large portion of communication in almost every business house is not formal or pre-planned. The employees communicate through informal channels as they do their jobs. It is neither pre-planned nor deliberately motivated by the management. It is neither written nor documented or recorded. Therefore, it refers to any communication that takes place outside the prescribed and pre-planned channels of formal business communication. It is not set with the lines of organizational hierarchy. As it has no set rules and regulations, it is not confined to a particular direction. It spreads just like a grapevine. Next, we're talking about the types of the grapevine communications. There are 4 types of grapevine communications. And the grapevine is the most sensitive and sensational channel of business communication. It is made of a complex network of informal contacts among workers at all levels in an organization. Different types of the grapevine include the wheel. The wheel is, in this type of communication, one person is predominant. He transmits grapevines to different person or persons or groups. He is the hub. He's at the center. And various lines of communication become the spokes in the wheel. Every person in the wheel becomes the causative factor for starting another wheel. Next we have the cluster. The cluster is like grapes. It's like your group of friends. Your group of friends or your department talks to other departments. First it goes through your cluster, then to the next cluster. Next we have the chain. The chain is the most common pattern in which information passes through a series of people linked together in an organization. Think back to as children playing the telephone game, where the bit of information starts with one person. As it goes through the chain, it not necessarily becomes the same information when it reaches the end. The final type of grapevine communication is free flow. Free flow is where most of your rumors and idle gossip is spread by random free flow or a haphazard network. It includes a number of people who are not necessarily linked by an organizational thread, just random thoughts flown in random directions. There's limitations to the grapevine. We have to keep this in mind when we talk about trying to harness in the power of the grapevine. The first limitation is there's errors in what is transmitted. If the information that we want put out is not accurate, it is no longer in the network as viable information. It also can contain harmful rumors. That's the kind of Any type of information that comes out that is not accurate and it is spread with the intention of creating harm can be a harmful rumor. The next type of limitation is self-serving. A lot of people can put out whatever they want to put out when it comes to informal communications. A lot of times people will hold on to information and use it when it best serves themselves. We have to be careful of people who use the grapevine for self-serving purposes. The next limitation we have is the information is incomplete at times. That's just like when we go through the chain, when the information is put out as a whole piece of information. Usually when it gets down to the bottom end user, it is incomplete and it lacks the substance that we want it to have. Final limitation is the lack of responsibility. By nature, the grapevine is unattributable. It gives the provider of the information a lack of responsibility because the information generally cannot be linked to one specific source. It's unattributable. You don't know who said what. So in conclusion, we went over the communication types, the grapevine, as far as when formal communication and how to harness the power of the grapevine. 80% of all business communication is internal communication. The vast majority of this communication is conducted via the grapevine. Harnessing this power of the grapevine can lead to an increased production and improved morale within your organization. Is there any questions? For any questions, please email me at alan.chenoweth01@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer all questions you have. Thank you.